What's the relevance of abandonment and what's considered abandonment in the state of Michigan? Well, my name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman and Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan, and today we're going to continue our video series, which is designed to educate and inform the public, so please subscribe to our channel. You know, when we talk about abandonment, we're really reaching back to an older concept, and there was this notion in certain legal systems that if somebody abandoned or left the home, that they give up rights. They may give up rights to, parenting time, rights to the kids, rights to property, rights to that. In the state of Michigan, we really don't have that kind of concept with respect to most things. Certainly with respect to property, if during a divorce somebody picks up and leaves, they still have an interest in the marital home and the marital property, and the fact of their departure really doesn't impact that. Abandonment, though, with respect to children is another thing. Let's remember one issue. The main analysis that the court does with respect to children is it determines what's in the best interest of the children. Okay? When the court determines parenting time or custody, the court's going to look at what are the factors that go to what's in the best interest of the children, because whatever's in the best interest of the children, that's what the court wants to embrace. The court is headed in that direction. That's the format that the court is going to follow when it determines custody. So if you've abandoned your kids, what I mean to say is, let's say you didn't like what was going on in the house, so you pick up and you move out and you leave the kids there. So it's not so much that the court will say, well, you abandoned and therefore you lose your kids. That's not the analysis. The analysis is what's in the best interest of the children. Well, stability, for example, is in the best interest of the children. If somebody picks up and leaves, does that show stability? Now, let's say another thing. It's in the best interest of the children that they have a nice, peaceful, non-abusive home. Well, if you're claiming that your ex is abusive, so you pick up and leave, all the while leaving the children in what you claim is an abusive environment, have you acted in the best interest of the children? Probably not. So when we talk about abandonment, really as a concept in and of itself, it doesn't trigger certain rights. In other words, the fact that you've abandoned in the context of divorce, that's not really the analysis. The analysis really is what's in the best interest of the children. The fact of your abandonment in and of itself doesn't necessarily mean you will gain or lose rights. It doesn't really impact rights. But it's the fact that you have abandoned and therefore left the children in this environment, and now we have to keep the children's environment as stable as possible. So if the environment is horrible, then the question that you're going to be asked is, how could you abandon the children and leave them in what you say is a horrible environment? If the environment's not that horrible and you've left anyway, then the question becomes, well, this is a decent environment. It's fairly stable for the children. Why should we switch to custody now? Why don't we leave them status quo where they are? Why don't we maintain so they'll have a seamless transition? So you got to realize one thing. It's not the departure in and of itself that's going to cause a question or call into question what your rights are, but it's the impact on the children. And how that goes into best interest analysis, it may be relevant as to that. As to property, probably not. If you have any questions about that, reach out and we'll be glad to help you out.